Hey there, enemies of Osen, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Bellwright. Episode 9, Brawling Bandits.
Does look like a nice little truncheon or something. What do they call it? A reinforced club? Honestly, it's a truncheon. But, whatever. Call it a club. Reinforced club. If you will. I like the concept of having archers supported by sword and board fighters, but realistically, it's not effective. Swarming the enemy with numbers is more effective than having like a mixed combat squad. So I can, if I end up recruiting someone who's like really good at archery, I'll try to hook them up with like a bow and arrows, and when we go into battle, have them use a bow, just for the role-playing aspects. But from my experience, NPCs with bows, like it's way more effective to swarm the enemy with numbers, because when you're blocking, you can only really block from like one person at a time, more or less. So a 2v3 or a 2v1 or a 3v1 is way more effective than like one sword and board with an archer backing them up, because the archer is going to attack slowly and not necessarily hit the targets. Player archers are dirty, nasty, but NPC archers are just a lot less effective. With that said, high-level enemy archers are nasty. They will shred you, but your player archers are not as effective in that way. Let's see if I can't start dumping everything in the stockpile, just for sanity's sake, and phasing out the camp storage, so I don't have to like check multiple boxes at once for stuff. It's also kind of kind of a decent way to free up space for more important things closer to the camp. I'll leave the food chest though. As long as I pick up these dropped items within the like 10 or 15 minute window, they don't despawn. And I might as well use this archery book. Building a watchtower and putting an archer in there would be a really nice combo. So what's interesting is there is guard towers in the game. Your guards just don't use them, and they aren't elevated. The only thing the guards towers do is they will they'll inform you of the quantity of enemies that are attacking you when you get attacked. So they're useful, but not in the way that you would think. So the guard towers are... Where's their tech? Here somewhere? Yeah, here's the guard post. It's a tier 2. But they're not stationed like they are in like Fallout 4 when you build guard stations. Like your guards don't stand on them and actually guard. There are ways to design a settlement to be guarded, sort of. So there is fences to build, and the fences are impassable. Now you can cheese them by like let's say I build a triangle of fences around me, or a square of fences around me, so there's no pathing inside the fence. NPCs don't vault over fences, whereas the player can. So if I build like a square of fences around me, a pen of fences, and stand on the inside with a bow and arrow, meleeers can't touch me. Like, I'm invulnerable to melee at that point. It's cheese. Totally cheese, and I'm not going to use it. One cool design mechanic is that barns, which is tier 2 storage buildings. Where's the barns? Somewhere. They can be walked through like gatehouses. And you can design your settlements, and maybe I'll do it, where you have a barn surrounded by fences so that you have a gated community that feels more real. And I'll probably end up building that way, wherever the barns are. Just because it's cool. It does limit... there are the barns. And you can kind of see in the locked tooltip that you can pass under them. They do... If you want to use them as gatehouses like that, you do have to make sure that they're put on very flat terrain. Because if it's slightly inclined terrain, NPCs will get stuck trying to walk through them, which sucks. Oh, he researched Plank Shield. Nice. Thank you, Lubomir. And I'm going to give Lubomir that truncheon. So he has it for the upcoming raid. There. In fact, I'll take his primitive club. He doesn't need that anymore. And let's go ahead and... is there any armor to research before they arrive? I could do rugged mitts, maybe? I might have the pelts and cords. Let me check. I have 4 pelts, 10 cords. So yeah, let's do the mitts. And I'll make 2 plank shields. Did he cook that? I think he did. Cool. I don't think we have any more... Oh, no, we want more garlic. So if we want more garlic, I'll make 1 more fine meal. Yeah, you can't even manually put an archer on a tower. True. Maybe it's a feature that they will add, but it does make base defense kind of meh, where it's really just you march your army out, you sally out, march your army against their army. I don't have a problem with it, but it is simple. Cool. So we also know how to make rugged mitts, although I don't have the materials to make them, so it's kind of moot. So I'm going to focus on the plank shields. So for them, I need 4 cords, which we currently in the colony have 7. And then it was, what, 8 wood apiece? And we have 14 wood. Oh, I need 2 more wood. Another important thing for me to do, if possible, is to make sure that Lubomir has access to good food prior to the fight. Because if he has, and maybe myself included, if we have, like, smoked meats, we're going to have a lot more HP. And that's, between a plank shield and smoked meats, that's kind of the best... Oh, did he repair the trap? I think he repaired the trap. That's pretty much the best defense that you can offer, in my opinion. The quality of the foods that the NPCs have consumed adds a ton of HP. So, like, this fine stew adds 40 HP, and smoked, large hunks of smoked red meat will add even more. Like, this is 55. So manually feeding him the best possible foods, and then having a shield is just most of the bang for your buck. So I might try, depending on when the bandits arrive, and I don't know when that will be exactly, I could try to smoke some large hunks of meat for Lubomir and I. The medicinal salves, which heal you, you get unlocked way later. You need a you loot them pretty often from bandits and like loot chests, and you can eventually make them when you recruit a healer and you have like a blacksmith or like a late like tier 3 crafting and all that. So that's not something you can really rely upon early game, but they're pretty awesome when you're fighting, to be able to like heal 50 HP near instantly, and you can suck down like multiples of them. It's kind of like, you know, making you, if you have a lot of them, effectively invincible. But yeah, for this upcoming fight, I'll probably start by shooting arrows at them, and then when they close the distance, I'll switch to a plank shield for myself. Once we're done with the bandit raids, I'll try to befriend... Maybe if Lubomir doesn't get wounded, I'll bring him out to clear the closest bandit camp. The two of us clearing it out as like a companion duo. And then I'm going to try to bring the relationship between me and Hrandir up to friend, so I can recruit Karina. Because the main quest line we have is to have a second follower and to become a friend of Hrandir. So I'll bring in Karina, who is decent at combat, has actually pretty high combat stats, and is a good cook. So she can be the dedicated cook for the colony. And the winter is ending. As you can see, the snow melted, so I should be able to pick the herbs for the Dalabor's remedy, earning a considerable amount of trust in Hrandir. So between Divisions of the Dark and Remedy of Remembrance, that should bring me up to pretty much friend status. Where is he going? What's he doing? He's cutting wood, but he's walking way the frick close to the bandit encampment. I'm going to have him actually be my companion for now. Because I want to... one of the reasons to do that is I can control what he eats and where he goes. So when the bandits attack me, we're, like, better prepared. Yeah, the winter duration's only a few days. Alright, so... eat this red meat. Oh, you have wood. Give me that. Eat this red meat. Put on the shield. And... he's a little sad that it's dreary, but he's got the combat attribute bonuses from the fine meal, and then high morale because he's like full, and pretty good HP because he has 40, 25, and 55 food, plus a shield and a not that weapon. Give me that tool. Use your truncheon. There we go. I'll put the tool away. That stew looks legit. It does. Unfortunately, it shares the same icon as one other type of stew, like a rustic meat stew, which gets confusing later on, because the rustic meat stew is pretty good, too. Whereas all the other foods don't share the same icon with everything else. Why that is, I couldn't tell you. So Lubomir, I'm going to have you stationed here. I don't want him working right now. I want him prepared to defend against the bandits. But what I'm going to do is talk to Amelie about the stolen item in the secret stash and bring the hemp, sage, and flax to Dalibor while I wait for the bandits. So I'll probably need to pick some flax and hemp. Here's one hemp, 2 flax. So I'll pick... oh, here's the raid. The raid is coming now. Never mind. We're going to defend. So the commands here are I can order them around, I can have them follow me on cue, and I can tell them to hold or charge. And here comes the bandits. So let's do this. As you can see, the bandit parties are not hard to defeat. And blink shields are amazing. We're done. That's it. These bandits gave us straps. Oh, and an agility book. Hell yeah. I read that right away. Oh, I'm currently reading an archery book, but I'm gonna... Lubomir, I'm gonna let you read the agility book. Because I love you, dude. Bro love. Alright, Lubomir, you and I are gonna go clear this bandit camp. So also, it's worth noting, the bandits typically attack you from the closest bandit camp to where you live. So if I cleared this bandit camp and that bandit camp, and this bandit camp, they would take a while to get to me, giving me more time to prepare. So the fewer bandit camps that are immediately around you, the longer you have to set up in a defense. Also, when brigands, if you liberate a town, the brigands originate from the brigands headquarters. So the further the town is from the brigands headquarters, the more time you have to prepare. Just figured I'd let you know that. All right, Lubomir, I am going to have you stay here as I open fire from a distance. Got you in the chest. Alright. As he closes the distance. Don't beat up my Lubomir. You can see how the plank shield and the high quality meat that I gave Lubomir to eat was very essential for his survival. Without those two things, he would have died. Or he would have been wounded. But, so you, dude, can go back to being a worker. Thank you for your service. Here is a bandit's treasure. So this bandit camp specifically was tied to a quest. So I'll hold on to that quest item. If, for any reason, you ever drop a quest item, it will like show up in your private stash, in your private tent. And I also got a bandage. I'm actually going to hand him a bandage. Oh, so here's the animation for bandaging. It takes a while, so it's not like something you do in the middle of combat. But instead of using it, I'm just going to give it to him. It's a good job, Lubo. We cleared the bandit camp. And I'll kick off the quest for that. I just wanted to clear a bandit camp close to where we live so that they can't raid us so quickly. In most bandit camps, they'll have loot stashes. The items that dead bandits drop decays within like 10 minutes or so, but the loot that you get from a camp won't. Most camps have 2 loot boxes, some have 3, some have 1. I think this one had just the 1. And there's usually a flag to claim, but most of the time when you clear the bandit camp, it will automatically claim the flag, and it gives you renown. So I have a whole bunch of straps here that I can use to make gear or research better gear. And we are a little bit safer because we're not literally on top of a bandit camp, which is useful in its own way. So that when Lubomir goes and automatically cuts down trees, he's not cutting down trees closer and closer and closer to the bandit camp, risking aggroing the bandit camp and getting injured or dying as a result. So back on task. I want to... let's do this. I want to do the 2 quests now. Complete quests for How do you spell Haranguine? H-A-E-R-N Dean. There we go. What's confusing is there's a Haranguine and a Horndean down here. Krasmere, Farnworth, Black Ridge Pool, Bradford, and Padstow. So I need 1 more hemp and 2 sage. Oh! I'm like wandering around aimlessly, not actually picking it up. Icefire, thank you for the resub. Well, I know Sage is out this way. The world map is huge, yeah. It's huge. Running corner to corner takes a long time. It's also why the fast travel road signs are so necessary. Because you will typically have to travel out to the towns for trade and quests and things, and having to run there every time is pretty labor intensive. Hemp. There's usually hemp is grown like in the foothills of mountains, in forested areas, like where I am now. But let's also talk to this dude.
Sorry, I don't have time for chat.
Oh, never mind. He's a quest giver eventually, but I hadn't picked it up. I don't want to find hemp too close to Haranguine, because it's going to be within town boundary, and I won't be able to pick it. So I'm too close right now. Try to find some hemp out this way. There's also a lot of hemp near the bell tower. Just north of Haranguine. And then there are like dedicated fields of hemp that I could have walked towards. I just didn't. Like there was hemp, you know, very close to my base camp. I'm just wasting time trying to find it where I don't know where it is. But there's value in exploration, I will say. There's a lot of pretty awesome locations in the game. Like, even with this unrevealed map, you can see that there are, like, bridges to islands, and there are major rivers, and there's some pretty cool places that maybe aren't meta to build, but they're pretty. So if that matters to you, just know that they're out there. So if you want to make like a player's cottage on your own private island, like you could do that. It'd be pretty cool. One of the weird, I don't know if it's a bug or intended, I'm not sure which, but there are the village hall and the town hall can only ever be made once and ever once. It's a fair warning, I guess, to you guys that wherever you place your village hall and town hall, they cannot be moved or built at any time ever. Like, you, as I said, you build them once and ever once. I'm not sure why that is. You can have as many outposts as you want in-game. Like, the game doesn't restrict the amount of outposts. Okay, I need to pick up hemp, like, more reasonably. So anywhere I build, like, a mining camp or a logging camp or a forging hut or whatever it is, I can set that up as its own independent entity if I want. And set villagers to live there and to harvest there and to work there, and it will be its own independent, sort of its own sovereign area. unrelated to your other settlements, allowing you to have, you know, a multiple supply chain and that kind of thing. But you can only ever get one town hall and one village hall, and you should choose their placements wisely, because I'm sure there are lots of players that didn't, and it kind of sucks when you don't, because then you're like, all right, well, I'll move it when I find somewhere nicer later, and then you learn you can't ever move it, and that sucks. And it may or may not have happened to me. Well, not exactly. In my playthrough, I built a village hall willy-nilly, like where I didn't intend to permanently live. But thankfully I learned that when trying to move it, and I learned that you can't before I built the town hall. So it wasn't really a problem. Can you build a whole city with traders and do it cooperatively? Sort of. You don't ever end up getting traders. So the way trade works is each town has one trader, and then there are also traders all around. So there's like Alex, the craftsman hut, and Alex is an herbalist, and there's other traders all over the place. Your own people will never be traders, but once you liberate towns, you can directly trade with those towns, and you can build up your own settlement cooperatively with your own people, and you can build up towns. Like I can build up Rhadamant as well with their help as well, by building them a well and a stables and a vault and a archery range and a infantry training camp and all that kind of stuff. Even build a bell tower there. That's all stuff that you can do for the towns.
We are keeping the peace here in the name of Lord Ashbourne.
Nah, you're just a thug.
We are keeping the peace here in the name of Lord Ashbourne.
I don't have too much time.
All right, here are the herbs. Here are all the herbs that you listed. I hope they help.
Brilliant. Best get to work on the treatment right away, so... Here, take this for your troubles. If I get better, I'll build you anything you want, free of charge.
That's a lie. Also, I have these ones for you. Choose what you want. I will take farming book. The reason for the farming book is in order to make thatch, which is a building material that you will need sooner or later, you need farming level 3. And if no one in your colony or settlement has farming level 3, you're kind of stuck.
Looking for trouble?
Greetings. Would you find time to help an old man?
That depends on what you want from me.
You are really a lifesaver. Listen, I need you to bring me a couple of simple cords and logs. I wanted to repair the door to my house, but my back is killing me and I can't force myself to go to the forest with an axe. And one more thing, bring 2 pieces of fried meat. My wife loves it and I forgot about it, and now I want to give her a little surprise.
So you want me to give you meat for your wife? Got it. I'll give your wife some meat. Winky face. So he also gave me an old coin, which I can offer to Rhadamant. But before I do that, let's go ahead and tell Amelie that I finished her task as well. My current rep is 295 out of 500, so I'm just 205 away from befriending, and this quest gives me 150, so that gets me pretty considerably the way there.
Yes? Did you find it? Without being followed, I hope.
The token's place. I hope your plan bears fruit.
Brilliant. It's going to be anarchy, especially if they're drinking tonight. They might even start killing each other.
Let's hope it works as you intend.
Oh, it will. And here, your share of disrupting their operations. Keep your ears open. Such actions tend to ripple far beyond our sight.
So now my rep is 445 out of 500, and I have got some coins that I can offer the village elder, which is not an unreasonable thing to do.
keep going.
Come close. Yes? Is this... You do? What is it?
And there we go. I hand over those 2 coins. I gained trust in Herendine, and I am now a friend of Herendine,
In the name of Lord Ashbourne.
which allows me
Keeping
to
them
go
fed
find
and watered.
Karina and recruit her.
Are you new in town?
But while I'm looking for Karina, I'm just going to talk to everyone to make sure, because it's very hard to tell if you've
Well met.
if you've spoken to everyone or not. Also, interestingly, villagers respawn, and you can build villager houses to add more villagers to a
Have you
village.
seen the Elder yet?
So it is possible to change the
Let's
population of a village
Sorry, I'm busy. Go.
by either having them die or recruiting them or whatever.
Sorry. Trade your gold discreetly, lad. We don't want any trouble.
Sorry.
Oh, like I've never talked to this
Go
one
find the
before, but
village
she's
elder.
dumb.
Those peasants should be more
It's
grateful.
also becoming nighttime, so very soon, like,
I heard the Elder.
most of these villagers are probably heading home for the night, and I won't be able to talk to them anymore.
Have you? There was a.
Well, I had mentioned that this one looked pretty good too, but he requires
But
trust
that was a
level
long,
protector,
long time ago.
which I'm 12 or 1195 away from getting, so like that's not gonna happen anytime soon. Friend is easy to get to, protector is much harder, and then Bellwright requires considerable investment. With that said, now that I'm a friend, if I was a tier 2 tech level, I would be able to
Yes? Is there
can I help you with something?
I have a little task for you if you are interested.
Sure.
I'm trying to construct a little memorial for my parents, so I need you to bring me some simple cords and pelt, stones I can get myself, so that's all.
I'll bring it back. So let's take a look. Carpenter's Knee is just for renown, but the cords and pelt are for trust. Unless you have urgent need for renown, I
keeping the peace here.
prioritize trust over renown every day of the week. I didn't find Karina, and it might be too late. She might have retired to bed by now.
Have you seen the Elder yet?
Are you new in town?
Oh, no, maybe not.
Tend the livestock, keeping them fed and watered.
Are you new in town?
Curious. Have
Oh, where is she? Yeah, you can see the trader's gone, the elder's gone. So, all right,
Keep
not
going.
doing that now. So I will work towards the other quests. Cords and pelt are pretty easy to do. Logs, cooked pieces of meat, and cords. So I just need 6 cords, 2 pelt, 2 meat, 2 logs, and I can prepare that for the morning. The pelt, I might already even have. Let's see. Nope. I have hides and fur, but no pelt. Oh no, I have 1 pelt. So yeah, I'm gonna need to hunt some, like, wolves for pelt. Oh, it's Banlish. And the Band Raiders. What were you playing today? Oh, well, okay, perfect. You guys were playing all right, so terrific. I don't need to tell you about the game. Thank you, Ban. Always a pleasure to have you here. How'd your stream go today? And for my viewers, I'm a longtime friend of Banlish. Very similar channels. He wears a bit more pink than I do, but amazingly cool dude, and one of the only channels on Twitch that I would feel comfortable rating every day of the week, because he's an awesome streamer, and yeah, if you haven't followed him, please do so. And he streams quite a lot. So he's, you know, if you find yourself in need of content, that's a good place to go. All right, let's go hunting for some pelt. Don't talk about the pink. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, he can't stop me. I like it personally, but you know, I think it looks cool. All right, I'm gonna head. Where do I want to go to hunt wolves? Maybe I'll just like wander around the forest. Pelts. So generally speaking, boars will give you furs. Deer can give you pelts and hides, and wolves give you pelts. So I just want to hunt like deer or wolves, not boar. So I'll just be looking for deers and wolves. That those birds of prey or vultures or whatever flying overhead, that's probably a wolf den over there, maybe. So I'll go that direction. What do you think this game is most like, in my opinion, if I can list multiple games? Most like Valheim, Medieval Dynasty, V Rising. Probably most like Medieval Dynasty, although I haven't played a lot of Medieval Dynasty. The combat is similar to like Kingdom Come Deliverance or Mountain Blade. It's kind of unique in its own way, but it's very similar to a lot of other games. I don't know. It is a tricky question to answer. Oh, so here's an old ruin. It's actually not a wolf hunting ground. And old ruins will very often have a decent amount of like old coins and treasure and stuff in them. So in this case, I got a meat stew, which is a pretty damn good meal. I got some meat, spiced meat stew, I should say. Meat stew, mashed potatoes. Again, it doesn't make much sense that an old ruin would have fresh food. Don't think about it too hard, or you'll hurt yourself. It also gave me an old coin. And it has something else too. A potato. And another coin. All right. That there is a bandit camp. I'm not going to go solo that for role-playing reasons. This... Oh, ooh, I should hold still, real still. No, don't dock right down, you jerk. I would have missed anyway. I shot too high. But... I'll go hunting for pelts in a second. Oh, there's literally... one right here. Oh my god, I need to aim lower. This is miserable. But this is another NPC, an herbalist.
Hello there.
Who's selling mostly seeds. The herbalists are really good for starting your supply of seeds for a farm. And you can sell them processed meat. Here we go. Redeeming myself, hopefully. Well, I hit it, but not fatally. And it is 4-player co-op, which is why I liken it to, because if I'm not mistaken, Medieval Dynasty is single player. No, maybe that's not true. But like, yeah, I don't know. It has a lot of game concepts from a lot of other games. Thank you for tuning in to Bellwright, which originally streamed live on Twitch May 25th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, viewers that turned out to the Marathon's live stream. And also viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Bellwrights.